He started his career, first of all, he was a Grey Cup champ with Toronto. Then he went to the Chargers and Phillip Rivers. And then quickly Bears, now with the Colts this year. You were a great pickup for them. You're a free agent. My feeling is they want you back.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Frank Reich and Andrew Luck are good guys to play with.
They are phenomenal. You know, Andrew told me this weekend that, hey, I got to stop stroking Dontrelle's ego. Everybody knows now that I love him. So Andrew's a great guy. Coach Frank Reich is phenomenal. He's one of those coaches that is a player coach, you know.
He was your coordinator in San Diego and got a head coaching job in Indianapolis. Let's talk about last weekend. The offense, you could tell instantly. A little pass rush on Andrew. Andrew was off. So what did the Chiefs' defense present, Dontrelle, that was problematic for you guys?
So the Chiefs' defense, people think that defense isn't that good because of the ratings. You know,
Right.
They were ranked this, that, and in the lower part of the leagues, but they came out with, you know, different things that we haven't seen. You know, they came with man-to-man. They came with a lot of pressure. They forced us to use half of the field at times, and it got tricky for us a little bit. And, you know, at times they got the best of us.
When you look at Kansas City playing at Arrowhead, it's a loud stadium. Was that ever an issue? Was the sound, the field, the weather ever an issue?
That wasn't an issue because we just came from the Texans, from Houston. So that was louder because it was the Dome. I will say that first series, we could not hear Andrew. We had to actually be this close to, if this was Andrew, we had to be this close to him to hear. So it wasn't the noise that was an issue. We've been on the road for, 3-4 games. We knew that every game was going to be a road game, so we prepared ourselves mentally for that.
Have you faced the Patriots defense in your career with the Chargers, Colts? Have you ever faced a Belichick defense?
I faced the Belichick defense when I was with the Chargers.
Okay, Dontrelle, tell me what they create or the challenges they provide.
So if you've watched Belichick for his whole tenure, you know that he's going to take the best player out the game. That's just his mantra. That's how he does it. So he's going to take your best passer out, or he's going to take your best running back, and he's going to make you beat us with someone else. So I think when I played them, Keenan Allen was, and still is, you know, the best receiver that we had. I don't think Keaton had 2 catches during that game. So he does a good job of game planning, taking the best player out of the game.
Yeah, and by the way, they took Travis Kelce. Belichick took Travis Kelce out the first game. Now, Cheetah went out there and lit it up.
Yes.
In terms of talent, I contend that your Colts team is you got 9 draft picks and $100 million. I thought, and I picked you guys when you were under 500. I said on the air, I said they're going to be a playoff team because they're protecting Andrew. But I still think your best years are ahead of you. I thought this year you overachieved. To win a playoff game with a young roster. Kansas City's overall talent, when you were looking at film all week, I contend Kansas City's got better players than New England this year. Just give me the overall sense. If I say Patriots, Chiefs, where does your gut tell you who's going to win, the better players, the better overall personnel?
The Chiefs, personnel-wise. My gut is telling me the Patriots. I talked to my son earlier this morning. I said, hey, Bub, I'm going on TV. I'm going on the Herd, and I'm going to talk about the Patriots. Who do you think is going to win? The Patriots. He's 6 years old. I said, why? Because they beat the Falcons. I said, what is it? You got to give me more than that. He said, that's all you need to know. It's the Patriots, and they beat the Falcons. So that's my gut. But
and the Falcons were perceived as being the Chiefs.
To be the Chiefs, yeah.
The great receiving core.
Absolutely.
The MVP quarterback that year.
Absolutely.
The red hot, the 2 backs.
The 2 backs. So it's almost the same. There's so many weapons on that KC offense. But at the end of the day, it's the Patriots. They prepare well. They play different in the playoffs.
Dontrelle Inman, free agent wide receiver, 5th season in the NFL. You obviously don't on a regular basis play the Saints and Drew Brees or the L.A. Rams. As a player, though, when you look at the Rams and Sean McVay and kind of their whole vibe. You're in Los Angeles, by the way. Cooper Kupp got hurt. They could have used you. How do players – I made this argument yesterday. If you're a player, you have to root for the Rams to win the Super Bowl. New England's not good for players because they suppress talent and they don't pay talent. They even make Brady take a pay cut. But if the Rams win, Talib, Sue, Donald, Gurley, they're pro player. If I said to you, all the teams this weekend, who's good? Who do you want to win the Super Bowl?
I actually want Drew Brees to win the Super Bowl. I would say the Rams because they moved to LA. They definitely changed, cities. They changed, the way you play football in a sense.
Yes.
All that talent they have over there and everybody's playing together. When you have that many All-Stars, it's hard to it's hard to bring all those All-Stars together. All the names that you just named, that's tough.
Those guys are most of them worth $40, $50 million.
All of them have had a big contract before. All of them have had a big contract before.
So for you, the Chiefs are a little interesting because whereas the Rams have some stars and the Patriots have some rich guys, Kansas City is kind of a roster full of guys who are just now making their names. Like you've been in a veteran locker room, a young locker room. You think to yourself, it's the NFL. There's a lot of unity. But did you think that the Bears, the Colts, Chargers locker rooms were all different?
Every locker room is different. Every locker room has the same.
Okay, so let's go to the Chargers.
Okay, let's go to the Chargers.
What was it like?
So that locker room was phenomenal. Everyone got along. Everyone wanted to at least do something in the locker room together. We played me, Dwight Freeney, Phillip Rivers, and Antonio Gates. Every day we played spades. Every single day we played spades. On Saturdays, spades. Bed check will be at 11. We'll be finishing our last hand at 11:01 playing spades.
Then you go to Chicago.
Chicago was a little different. It was a losing season. Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, we know coaches are about to be fired.
Right.
I need to solidify me. So that's the locker room you get when you're in that losing atmosphere.
A little more selfish. Survival.
The Colts locker room is different. It's different.
Not a lot of stars.
Not a lot of stars.
Most humble quarterback in the league.
There's not much to do in the city. The quarterback takes all the blame no matter what it is. He looks at, it's my fault. I need to do better. Even if he just had over 100 passer rating, I need to do better. And if you have that leadership at the head, it flows into the locker room. And that's exactly what happened this year.
That's why I don't think they're going to go out and get a Le'Veon Bell or an Antonio Brown. They have the money to. They're one of like four teams. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think those guys fit within your locker room. I just don't.
And, some teams are like, whatever it takes just to get the players in here. Some teams are like, I need to build a culture. The Patriots, culture.
The Colts, culture. No, I really feel that. Sounds like you like playing there.
Oh, I love playing there. I love playing there. I know I had a visit back in, was it April, when I became a free agent last year, and I sat down with Chris Ballard,
yeah,
the GM, and he says, you're getting a little older. I said, I'm almost 30. I'm not 30 yet, though.
Yeah.
I'm not 30 yet. So he said, well, I'm going to see what these young guys are about, and I'm going to keep in touch with you. I'm going to figure out, because I know Frank loves you.
And he did.
And yeah, he did. He definitely did, and I appreciate him for that.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get re-signed by them. Absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Whether or not you sign, always welcome on our show.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
The pride of academic juggernaut Virginia, a former Toronto Argonaut. Now that we haven't had on the show much. Hour 3 coming up. Thanks, Dontrelle.
Thank you.